not on the snow, but on how Amber begins addressing him by his name, which Amber admits comes out subconsciously to her. Carlix can't help but blush as the way she calls his name makes his chest feel like it may explode. Where to find a Carlix for myself? Later, Amber is now in her new study, Carlix's mother's library to be exact, and sees a diary that seems to belong to the Duke's mother. She gets so curious and peeks, and she finds out her situation is no different from Carlix's mother's before. From arriving in a strange place to how she wants to be loved, and how she thinks a child can make them a family. Amber then reads a strange page where she talks about maids offering her tea, saying it's a gift from her husband, and describes its steeps as pretty red. When Grace suddenly interrupts her, telling her Bella is looking for her. When Amber arrives at Bella's chamber, Bella states how difficult it has been to meet her daughter-in-law. What is this evil woman up to? Amber apologizes out of formality, while Bella urges Cece to leave so they can privately talk. But she does not heed, as she only takes orders from Amber. Bella still tries to maintain her cool and tells her that their discussion is not something that can be addressed with a lady-in-waiting in the room. But again, our smart little Cece points out that if so, then Grace will have to go as well. Amber cuts them off and asks what important matter they need to discuss. Bella then prepares her snacks and offers to assist her in hosting a tea party. This is something that is under Amber's jurisdiction. Bella claims that she has been the Duchess for a while, but has never had a tea party, which makes the noble ladies of the East distrust her. And adds that because she's a foreigner, she'll need aid to throw a good tea party. But Amber can never trust Bella, and tells her it's none of her concern. Bella squeezes Amber's wrist and warns her, implying that no one will attend her party if she's the sole host. By that, she gets Bella's message that no matter how recognized she is within the castle, without Bella's help, she will not be welcomed in society. However, our girl has no intention to fall into this trap, and she tells her she will not be the timid and meek daughter-in-law she's expecting. Bella has enough and orders Grace to leave so Cece will leave as well. And she begins to speak differently, telling Amber that just because Carlix starts to care, doesn't mean it will last, as all men are the same. A sudden relationship advice from an evil mistress? Well, Amber disagrees and says Carlix is different, standing up for both herself and her man this round. Go, girl! Bella laughs at her statement and informs her that love is only possible between equals, which they aren't, and degrades her as just the daughter of a common viscount, whereas Carlix is a duke. She then shares her own love story, which I know no one cares about, but bear with me. Detelev Talisto, her husband, once vowed to give her all the power of the East and the position of a duchess, but none of his promises came true. He gave all the power to Carlix, while all she can do is scold maids, realizing it was all false promises. She then asks if Carlix has promised her something, to which Amber declines to answer. Promises are a red flag, and Bella advises her not to give her heart to Carlix first, although she thinks Amber already is. Amber seems to be wavering after hearing all these, and so she stands up, walks away, and reminds her she'll take care of the tea party. After Amber leaves, Bella and Grace are talking about how she expects Amber to host the tea party herself, so their plan will carry out as planned. They are planning big this time. Meanwhile, Amber, Cece, and Jania are discussing how it will be difficult for the three of them to keep watch on Bella, as they believe she will not be acting alone on whatever she plans to do. Jania proposes asking Sir Bertrand for assistance, whereas Cece believes it would be much better to ask the Duke rather than a knight. Amber is unsure whether she can ask the Duke, but Jania firmly disagrees because she has seen how much the Duke cares for her and feels he will go to any length for her. Her past shows her to never expect anything from Carlix, as he always chooses his family over her. But witnessing how lovingly the new Carlix looks at her makes her waver. Then she remembers what Bella said about how everything is fleeting, and wants to ask Carlix for assurance that he'll keep his promise to her before anything else. She then finds herself hoping that Carlix loves her. Amber's thoughts of Carlix are broken when Cecilia asks to assign her the job of keeping an eye on Bella. Even though she just arrived in the mansion, Cecilia already understands Bella's character and her ploys, which impresses Amber. After the discussion, Cecilia wonders why the other lady-in-waiting isn't here. Amber explains she'll brief Roxy separately. For a few days, Amber and her people are busying themselves with preparations for the tea party. She feels this party will cause a more significant change in their future. So much so that she thinks all these changes will be the calm before the storm. Foreshadowing, I see. The night before the tea party, Cecilia discovers Grace acquiring a plant called red grass. When Cecilia reports this to Amber, Amber weakly stumbles when she realizes the truth about this plant. That horrid woman! How long has she and Bella been doing this? The day of the tea party finally arrives. Amber is delighted to see all preparations are perfect. All the invited ladies are present except for 3. And of course, those 3 latecomers are Bella's friends. Viscountess Fabienne, Countess Guerriere, and Countess Liano arrive and try to pick on Amber. But they have a hard time when everything is so well done and perfect. Take that! Our girl is prepared. Amber introduces Cecilia as her lady-in-waiting before she walks away to do her hostess duties. Before they officially start, Bella suddenly barges in and forcefully invites herself to the party. But this doesn't upset Amber as she welcomes her with a big smile. Unbothered queen indeed. Cecilia leads Bella to her seat. Amber instantly notices Grace's absence. Last night, Amber realized the effects of red grass. If steeped into tea, it'll have a deep red color and disgusting scent. When taken, it can cause dizziness and a numbing sensation. Moreover, after long-term intake, it can cause death. What made Amber weak-kneed, though, was the memory of drinking this tea during her pregnancy in her last life, and it was Bella who gave her that tea. I knew that woman was crazy. To make things worse, she had read about the same tea in Carlix's mother's diary. Amber officially starts the party by introducing the gold leaf tea specifically ordered by Lariette. Most of the guests are impressed by the tea, decorations, and overall high standards of the party. Just as Amber is suspicious of Bella's silence, Countess Liano suddenly faints. In the uproar, Bella accuses Amber of using red tea on her close friends just to antagonize her. Amber suspects the trio have personally put the red grass themselves. However, she can't ask for a body search since it'll be rude. But Countess Guerriere suddenly says to perform a search on them. If they were to be proven innocent, Amber will have to take full responsibility for what happened. The audacity of these people! The party is in chaos. Amber refuses to search the involved guests, but Bella keeps pushing her. Since she's that confident, Amber suspects the evidence is probably long gone now. This is just a play to humiliate her and ruin her standing in the East society. The doctor comes in to give medicine to Countess Liano. The Countess is shocked to see the seriousness in the doctor's actions, making Amber realize the trio didn't know the lethality of the drink. Suddenly, Viscountess Fabienne accuses Roxy of tampering with their teapot. Bella then exclaims that this was Amber's plan all along since Roxy is her lady-in-waiting. She puts on a show and asks to perform a body search on Roxy, knowing full well she had Roxy put a vial of red grass inside her dress. This woman is getting on my nerves. How can anyone be so nasty? While Roxy is on her knees, Amber whispers how she knows Roxy was Bella's spy. Amber tries to convince Roxy to tell the truth. Seeing that, Bella forcefully does the body search herself. Lo and behold, they find evidence. Bella scolds Amber for playing pranks with a tea that can kill someone. This statement caused pandemonium. After the doctor affirms that the tea is lethal, especially after long-term use, everyone is shocked, especially the ones who drank it. LOL, it's your fault for following the wrong person. Common sense isn't hard to use, people. Anyway, instead of panicking, Amber asks how Bella is so familiar with red grass being lethal when it wasn't common knowledge to people. With that question, Bella becomes a suspect. She tries to make Roxy confess the truth while threatening her under her breath. However, Roxy finally sets herself free from Bella's cage when she exposes the real truth. Go girl, get rid of that bully. She then tells everyone she was tasked by Bella to give the red grass to the 3 friends. With this, Bella's scheme comes to light. Bella tries to brush this off, saying the dosage is too light to cause any damage, but the women who drank it are still worried and also expose the truth. They then seek the doctor for any remedial medication. Bella leaves in defeat and suppressed anger. Yes, run away, you loser. After the party, Amber talks with her ladies-in-waiting. Roxy apologizes for being a spy before, but Amber didn't blame her. Instead, she thanks her for telling the truth earlier. Grateful, Roxy vows she'll only serve Amber in the future. Meanwhile, Bella whips a poor woman just to release her anger. But still not appeased, she swears to ruin Amber with everything she's got. This old woman doesn't know when to give up now, does she? The next day, Amber's in good spirits after the successful party. She feels even prouder after remembering Carlix's words expressing trust in her. Suddenly, Roxy comes in, desperately asking for help. Roxy found a letter in her room. It was from Layla, her friend, who works in the Vine Room. The letter says she was hiding at the warehouse and was asking for help. Roxy fears Layla has been whipped by Bella because of her. Roxy pleads with Amber for help. They run to the warehouse and find Layla all battered and bruised. Cecilia goes out to find a doctor while Amber tries to apply first aid. However, Layla cries and keeps on apologizing. Her words put Amber on alert, but it's too late. Bella arrives with a group of people. They grab Amber while knocking out Roxy. Bella takes out her whip and says she'll force Amber to bow down through fear. She purposefully misses her first strike to see Amber cowering in terror. Laughing, she attempts to hit Amber again. Not willing to succumb to this torture, Amber tries to grab a rake, but she falls down when she tries to avoid Bella's whip. Bella stomps on Amber's foot in delight and insults her. I can't wait for this horrid woman to get what she deserves. She's pure evil. She laughs when she sees Amber desperately looking for a way to fight back. Just as Bella is about to hit her, the doors open and Carlix arrives. You're finally here, hubby. With a dark look, he grabs Bella and asks how she dares to hit his wife. Bella reasons this was a misunderstanding. She didn't hurt Amber, she was just scaring her is all. You can't lie your way out when you're...